We're live.
I think we're live. Are we finally live, guys?
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
If you can hear us, cheer us.
If you can hear us, please put some sort of thumbs up emoji in the chat so that we know that we are live. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick double check here and make sure that we are actually live. And from there, yes, we are. We are actually on, and we are on. We are on. We are live.
Sweet.
It is working.
Awesome.
Hello, everyone.
All right, we have another guest that we're going to try and bring on. Here we go. Give me a thumbs up if you're actually ready. All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hey.
We can hear you, and we can see you.
I just had to restart my computer.
I told you.
Make everybody wait 6 minutes, and now it's just me restarting my computer.
Gosh. See, and that was like Dave said, that's the first thing you do whenever you have technical difficulties is you restart your computer, Connor.
I don't tend to listen.
Did someone say Beardo's in here?
No, I think they were guessing that that's who the guest was.
Oh, no, Beardo is still, he's heavily avoiding us. Not really. Oh, we lost Connor again.
Yep, he's frozen on the hair swoop. Everybody, is Connor frozen with his hair? Hand going through his hair like that?
Connor, I'm gonna remove you from the presentation because you're frozen with a Justin Bieber hair swoop. But when I see you reanimate down below, I'll add you back in. How's it going, everybody? How is everyone doing on this mysterious Monday? I know we normally... Can you hear me still?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I thought I hit a button. Normally we do spooky Saturdays, but I'm thinking about maybe making mysterious Mondays a thing. Would you guys like that? If you guys would like that, leave a thumbs up in the chat, or maybe I'll go over here and do a poll real quick. So I don't think you can do a poll from here, can you?
I don't think you can do a poll from StreamYard, no, but I do know that you can ask the chat to tell us what you think, so to tell us what they think. So if you'd like to see us do more of these Mysterious Monday Director's Cuts, leave us a thumbs up in the chat so that we know that you're here, and make sure you guys tell us where you're from in the chat. We want to see where everyone's watching from on this marvelous Monday, or maybe Tuesday if you're across the pond in Australia, because we know it's about 10 a.m. there on Tuesday morning in Australia. So you all are probably getting ready to go to work or something.
Okay. And then I put up a poll, so you guys go ahead and vote on that. And yeah, Mystery Mondays will be doing like these director's cut reaction type things, and then maybe possibly do some other type of reaction things, or like watching spooky videos, or I don't know. Beardo, I love Beardo's live stream, so he kind of inspired me to want to do something like this. So if you guys would like something like this every Monday, go vote on that poll. If not, that's totally fine.
So yes, and for those
actually see me, by the way,
yes, we can see you and we can hear you. And for those of you that don't know and have never seen Connor, Connor's been in a few of our episodes. He has his own YouTube channel called Paranormal Encounters. So if you are interested in everything spooky and paranormal related, you all should go and subscribe to Connor, Paranormal Encounters. He has quite a few paranormal investigation episodes, and he is one of the good ones. You know, there's seems like not very many YouTube content creators out there that put out genuine paranormal investigations, and Connor is one of the good ones. So if you're not subscribed to him, definitely go and subscribe to Paranormal Encounters.
Thank you, guys. I am so sorry for my technical difficulties. I just said forget it. I'm just gonna go on my phone because it's clearly not working on the computer for some reason.
That's okay. It's like you said behind the scenes, it's that Paranormal Quest curse. So
yeah, they yep.
Yeah, and we wanted to start doing these because, like Dave said, we were inspired, or he was inspired by Beardo doing the live streams there. Now, we can't go live on our main channel, but we can go live on this extras channel, and this will give a little bit of a different way for us to engage with the audience and watch some of our past investigations and give you some inside commentary and different things that behind the scenes happen, maybe, and maybe some fun stories that didn't convey through the camera in the episode.
Maybe we could even do like some, if I can figure it out, might have to have Connor help me with it, but figure out some sort of like gaming or something. Not like I'm not a gamer by any means, so I think that would be the watching point, is watching me struggle, or watching Ryan. Well, actually, Ryan's good at games, but
Some phasmophobia.
yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of up in the air what this is going to be, but yeah, I think I've repeated myself enough by saying that. But
Yeah.
Guys, everybody listening, if you enjoy Connor and Connor's content, stay tuned, because you're going to be liking some stuff that you see around. We're going to be working a little bit more closely with one another, and we're leaving in about a week to go film something spectacular for the main channel that I think y'all are going to absolutely love. So
it's going to be something unlike any other documentary that we've ever done on the channel. It's going to be different, but in a good way. It's going to involve some very tragic and dark history, and we are going to try and dive deeper into the story and make a little bit more of an in-depth analysis type documentary about this particular case, and we hope you guys are ready.
oh yeah,
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
it is. It's going to be a lot of fun. What do you guys think? Do you want to jump? I think for this Monday, Mystery Monday, we'll go ahead and do a director's cut, because that's what I advertise. So if you guys are ready, throw us a thumbs up in the chat if you're ready.
And also, Dave, before we get started here, I wanted to just bring up and ask you, because I notice your microphone button is red, but we can still hear you. Are you connected to your microphone, or are you using your computer microphone? Because if you were using that microphone in front of you, it'd be muted right now.
That, man, it's actually my headphones. What in the world?
Go into your mic settings here within the...
Now Dave is having technical difficulties.
Is that better?
Yes. Not on the Paranormal Quest channel, on their secondary.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there we go. That is much better. Oh my gosh.
All right. Sorry. So let me repeat everything for a 45th time, because you probably didn't hear me. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I think they're ready. Now, guys, Connor is not going to be able to stay for this whole thing. He just popped in for a little bit to say hi, and yeah.
I wanted to crash your guys live and make you guys all have to wait 5 to 6 extra minutes for me, and then still have technical
Oh, God.
difficulties.
Sorry. I didn't know it played automatically.
We're professionals, guys. We're professionals.
This actually looks really cool.
It does.
They've done some updates to StreamYard. I like it.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Here we go. This is Aradale Lunatic Asylum in... Where was this at again?
This was in Ararat, Victoria, Australia. So, yeah.
That's right.
This was one of the largest lunatic asylums on the continent of Australia. Had some really tragic history, and this place was a bucket list location as soon as we had met Allison and Cag and found out that we were going to be going to Australia. You know, you research most haunted place in Australia, and this is one of those places that comes up. I mean, it is synonymous with haunted.
Not going to brag or anything, but a certain duo went there after they saw us go there. So, Sam and Colby. Sorry. Anyway, let's get into this before I get myself canceled.
Anywhere between 10,000 and 13,000 deaths.
We relied on restraint,
If you guys can
punishment,
hear the audio, give me a
seclusion
thumbs
as our
up.
main forms of treatment. They were frightening in the fatality rates.
Now we're hoping that you'll come out and speak with us while we're here.
I am going to actually lay on the slab, and Dave is going to lock me in the cooler.
Wow. Whew. I'm getting so
Now,
nauseous.
I'm gonna let this play, but basically, if you guys have never been to one of our director's cuts,
Yes.
we play the
Sounded
episode
like
and
a
do
female
commentary.
said, I know.
kind of like a behind the scenes type thing as we're watching it with you.
Yes. So we will be pausing every once in a while.
Are you guys able to pause?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
I am, though. Sitting atop a large hill spanning nearly 100 acres in Ararat, Victoria, Australia, sits a massive 64-building compound. It was placed in this rural town.
That was creepy.
What was creepy?
That you could still remember every word. I don't even remember being here.
Town for a reason. 2 hours from Melbourne, away from prying eyes. This was Victoria's first lunatic asylum.
This place is massive,
Now,
you guys.
it sits abandoned, a tourist destination, and is widely considered to be Australia's most haunted psychiatric hospital. But is it true? Do the ghosts of thousands of patients and staff still haunt this asylum? Tonight, we're gonna find out. What a what?
What an angle.
I'm telling you, though, but the reason we had to get that angle is because trying to fit some sort of camera angle inside one of those body coolers is an impossible task. And since we were shutting the door and locking me in...
Great camera angle. I love it. Yeah. The style and the look is just...
Yeah. Real quick, before we start playing this again, I meant to ask this when we first started. I run really hot-blooded, and it's very, very hot on my side of the office. And I have a fan going. Is that really obnoxious to you guys?
I tried to tell him to turn it off, guys. I was like, turn that fan off. And he's like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I don't even hear it.
Too hot. I can hear it just slightly. So, but people are saying, turn the fan on. Not at all, Dave, says Anastasia.
Okay, great.
Polly says, can't hear it.
Good.
Dave, we're here in the state of Victoria in Australia.
The office is sectioned off in studios, and mine gets
what is
hot.
said to be Australia's most haunted asylum.
Yes, we are.
We've heard stories about this place because coming from the United States, we have many asylums there, ones that we have even investigated, but this place has all of those same elements of all of the asylums that we remember in America. The lobotomies, the inhumane treatment, the things that a lot of different communities and cultures have grappled with over the years. And that just generated into very interesting and at times extreme paranormal activity.
Yeah, this place is unlike any other one that we've done back home, and I'm interested to see what it has to offer tonight.
And as the sun is going down right now, it's only going to get creepier. So let's find out some more information about this place so we know what's in store for us tonight.
Let's do it. Let's see who we can find.
Let's do it.
So, Dave, how tired were you?
I wasn't paying attention. Hold on.
Oh, my gosh. He's supposed to be doing a reaction, guys, and he's not even paying attention.
I was putting a question or a statement in the chat. I mean, I was so tired that I don't even really remember being here. So
I just remember that the whole trip to Australia, especially once we got into filming, was kind of a blur because it was one location after the next. And, you know, if you know anything about Adelaide Haunted Horizons and Allison's planning techniques, she literally, and we love her to death, and she does it to herself too, because they're finishing up a UK trip right now. And just, you can see the exhaustion on their faces on these later pictures of their trip. It's just like every single location is back to back to back. So it's investigate, sleep 2 hours, jump in the car, drive 6 hours, get out, investigate, sleep 2 hours, jump in the car, drive to the next place. I mean, we were, as they say, knackered.
yeah, it also didn't help that this was the first flight that I had ever been on, and I had never experienced jet lag before. And I was jet lagged the entire time we were in Australia. I never got over it.
Not only that, but you guys also have the time difference too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was
made
crazy.
it tough.
It did. Jet lag is no joke, especially when you are at I think it's like 16 and a half hour time difference or something like that.
Why is Ryan always on the freezer slabs?
Because he's ice cold.
That's right.
He's also cold-hearted.
Because I'm cold as ice, willing to sacrifice my self. Yeah.
He's just kidding, YouTube.
So Aradale opened in 1867 and it worked.
I'm going to pause one more time. Sorry. Do you guys want us to play the history or skip the history and go straight to the investigation? We'll leave it up to you guys.
We want this to be your live stream, your commentary. Do you want to hear the history again, or would you like to go and just watch the episode on your own if you haven't seen it and learn the history of Aradale? Let me just say also, while we're paused here and we're waiting for responses, we kind of elaborate. We don't elaborate about some of the Paranormal Quest curse things that happened when we were in Australia. And I remember Di, who you see on screen right now, she was the tour guide and investigator that we interviewed, and her daughter was also there. And I remembered right before we got to Aradale Lunatic Asylum, they had said that they showed up for the night and were opening up, and they found a gravely, like seriously injured crow on the front steps of the front door that they go into Aradale. And it was in really, really bad shape. And Di's daughter actually put it in a shoebox and I think they ended up nursing it back to health. I'm not sure exactly whatever happened to that crow, but that was quite interesting when we got there. And they said, "You won't believe what we found on the front porch when we got here."
We'll have to reach out to her and see what did happen to that crow, but something tells me that it died. I feel like I remember hearing that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that is the ending to the story. So
looks like history and video wins. Sorry guys, we're going with whatever the poll says. So
all right, let me go ahead and get back to the spot so we don't start with her mid-sentence and go.
So Aradale opened in 1867 and it worked right through to around 1995. In those early years, it was very difficult. We were working in a time where we didn't have bathrooms within the wards. They came much later on. We also didn't have electricity. We certainly didn't have penicillin and antibiotics. We had quite a number of serious diseases sweep through this facility more than once. We were well and truly before a time where we had medications to treat psychiatric illnesses. And of course, this is a psychiatric hospital, a lunatic asylum back in the day, lunatic being a medical term in the 1800s. We relied on restraint, punishment, seclusion as our main forms of treatment. And some of the treatments that we were employing chemically, they were pretty fatal. We were using a lot of mercury in our medications and things like that. And they were all quite toxic. They were.
This place was really bad, you guys.
In the fatality rates.
I like the shirt.
But it wasn't just disease or the treatments that made Aradale so dangerous. The horror of this place drove many patients to violence, as life at the asylum slowly caused them to unravel more and more each day.
Yeah, there were quite a lot of patient-on-patient homicides. We have
she has a fantastic storytelling
two
voice.
Male inmates, Spellacy and Forrester. They were actually really great friends and had been for quite some time, and they worked on the farm part of the asylum. But then this one day, they're not quite sure what happened, but Spellacy put a shovel through Forrester's head.
Some people were dropped off at the asylum simply because their family didn't want them, and there was no other place to take them. Unruly children, unwanted spouses, impoverished people could all find themselves at Aradale, even though by today's standards they were completely sane and didn't need any treatment. But once delivered, they were trapped here.
Was this the last year's trip or the year before
that even
that?
the staff.
This would have been 2022.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember this last year, that's why I was saying that.
Yeah, this would have been November of 2022, leading up to Thanksgiving, because I remember we spent American Thanksgiving in Australia. So, which, you missed the turkey,
Do you?
Could find themselves swept away in the despair, trapped in these walls.
I do believe that one superintendent in particular, Dr. William Mullins, I think he probably did suffer melancholia.
Thank you, Tina.
Anyway, so he probably wasn't in the best frame of mind to work here. When he did get his hands on prussic acid, which is cyanide, I believe his words were that he wanted to get rid of a dog that was keeping him up at night. So they just dispensed it, and of course, and he consumed it.
In the almost 130 years Aradale Lunatic Asylum was open, it's estimated between 10,000 and 13,000 people lost their lives here. With that much death in one place, it's easy to see why so many people have paranormal experiences here at Aradale.
In regards to that, it's interesting because, but before we get into that, let me just say that is horrible. The absolute, sorry, I know, Dave, your head's spinning. I kind of jumped all over the place there.
That's a frightening freeze frame, by the way.
Literally.
I'm so sorry, Di. I did not mean to do that to you. But it's very tragic, all of the really sad history of Aradale or Aradale, however you'd like to pronounce it. I mean, that asylum, so many patients were lost. But I will say, in regards to the people saying that I should do audiobooks for Connor, or people say they like my narrating voice, that's not something that I understand, because, of course, I don't think that I have a good narrating voice. But also, I remember there's been many episodes where people have commented on the actual episode and say, why do they have a child doing the voiceovers for the episode? Because I do speak more in the front of my face than I do towards the back of my throat, as compared to Jason, who has that very baritone in the back of his throat type voice. I have a very nasally voice, I feel, which is not something that people gravitate towards. But I appreciate you all saying that. I appreciate that you all like my voice.
Yeah,
I like your voice.
Thanks, Connor.
You're welcome.
Absolutely believe Aradale's haunted, because I have experienced so many things here in the past 4 years of working here. I've seen full body apparitions. I've seen shadow people. I saw a near on 9 foot tall woman run through the hallway from the women's ward through to the administration building. So yeah, I've just experienced so much. It is definitely haunted, and intelligently.
But as we know, you can't only focus on those who lost their lives here.
I love how
The energy of the
emphatic
brutality that we're
Australians
seeing
are.
here could still be trapped here as well.
Look at this camera work, everybody.
Thank you, Connor. I don't believe Di is actually originally from Australia, though. I believe she is originally from New Zealand, I think.
Oh.
I could be wrong, but, so please don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that she is a New Zealander moved to Australia. You muted your microphone.
Yeah, Dave, come on.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm new at this.
Can you just mute your mic again, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
But if I remember what she had said, I do believe that she is from New Zealand.
Good to know.
Ready to replay itself when the moment is right.
You can certainly feel some areas of the asylum have more of a sadness about them.
Hold on. Chloe. Why did you do that, Chloe? Oh my gosh.
Actually, that would have been a good thumbnail.
That would have been. I don't know why I didn't find that freeze frame.
Or this one right here that you have frozen on.
Oh, gosh.
She's like looking at us.
Come on, boys. We got to do our best YouTube thumbnail faces to copy her.
We forgot the massive
whereas
ball of eyes.
other areas have attention to them, and other areas still have this element of fear, which is, you can't really explain why you feel this sense of fear. But it could have been that fear and dread that a patient perhaps felt because of what that space was used for and what they knew that they were going to face when they entered into that area, particularly treatment zones where people were having electroconvulsive therapy and things like that. It would have been quite a terrifying ordeal.
When we arrived, we were told by many of the staff that one of those places
huge that
is the
is.
men's infirmary, and not many of them like to go inside this
Massive
building.
place.
It said something angry and aggressive lives there.
It's
And one
spooky
tour guide
looking.
named Jasmine was alone in here when she captured this picture of someone watching
What'd you say,
her
Connor?
on the other end of the
I
hall.
said it's spooky
Could
looking
this
in
be
there.
the same spirit?
Yeah.
This is something very interesting that a lot of people pointed out, specifically about this apparition that Jasmine took. And a lot of people said that this is a living person standing inside the building with her. Now, of course, we can't we can't really say one way or the other whether that is a living person standing at the end of the hallway, because you kind of have to take the eyewitness account of what the environment was like when the evidence or the data was captured. Now, I will say that just because it is more of a modern looking person does not necessarily mean that an apparition can't be modern looking. You know, it may not be an apparition from when it was an asylum. It might be an apparition from a residual sense of another investigator standing at the hallway, because people have said that apparitions have appeared in places where there has been no death, and it's looked more modern. Or even like in Gettysburg, I've heard reports of people capturing apparitions of people in running shorts, which of course soldiers in the Civil War wouldn't have worn.
Well, I mean, you guys remember when we filmed at the Ulithurn Hall, right?
Yes.
In Colorado, you know, I saw a face that night. You guys remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was not somebody from like the 1800s or early 1900s, you know, or whatever. It was literally like a modern day face. And so, yeah, that is, I mean, yeah, I got to see up and close. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean they're not all middle-aged women wearing white dresses and weeping. So
Darn it.
you know, they look different.
And they do sometimes. And am I saying specifically that this is an apparition? No, of course I can't come to that conclusion either. But if she was really alone in the building when she took this picture, that is rather strange. But is there a possibility that someone else could have snuck in behind her when she snapped the photograph? Of course there is. We weren't there. We can't rule that out. But it certainly is a very creepy photograph, and if she was in fact alone in the building, then it's even creepier. So, but
Very.
Yeah, actually, someone just made a comment just a minute ago about somebody. What was that about? What did they say about Jeff? Because somebody just took a picture in the basement of Monroe House, and it looked like my shadow. This happened a few days ago.
oh wow.
Oh God, sorry. The basement of where? Sorry.
The Monroe House.
Oh wow.
Yeah, somebody
That's-
literally took a picture of that little hallway, little whatever corridor thingy in the basement of the Monroe House. They
Yeah.
took a picture and it literally looks like my shadow. It was so freaking freaky. Like I was like, that is wild. I'm sitting laying in my bed looking at this. I'm like, that's unsettling.
You'll have to send that to us, Connor.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy. My friend Brent is the one that actually caught that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was down in the basement by himself, so it was pretty weird. As you can tell, I'm still alive, unless I'm not. I don't know, but I'm alive and well, I think.
As far as I can tell.
Hopefully. If not, we're all experiencing some crazy paranormal activity. But but Aurelus says it's live one with a sweater around the waist, and yeah, you can see the sweatshirt tied around the waist, and there appears to be a logo on the t-shirt around the breast pocket. So
I can also see tattoos.
Yes, and some tattoos on the arms, and so it very well could be someone standing at the end of the hallway, and Jasmine just had no idea that someone snuck in there. But if there isn't anyone in there, it certainly is strange. That's why we presented it as a possible piece of evidence, just to show that, to tell the story. I see a dude with a beard and tattoos. Could be, that very well could be a beard right there. Kind of see that very well could be a beard there. I thought maybe it might have been a face mask,
God.
but then
Yeah, I just pulled up on my computer. So yeah, because I'm on my phone right now on this chat. I can't really see it, but yeah, it definitely looks like somebody wearing a black T-shirt. I can see what you're talking about. Looking at you with this, like his teeth or something are showing,
Mhm.
but you can't really see the feet though. That's what's weird.
Yeah, and that could just be because the pants are black and the floor is dark, and that's why you can't see the feet. But I don't know. I had brightened the image so much at this point that you're going to lose detail.
I mean, if this is legitimate, this is pretty darn clear. This is pretty creepy, actually.
Yes. Yeah, if like we said, if in fact she was in there alone, which is something that we can't determine, only Jasmine can determine whether she was alone in there or not, because all we have is a photograph. So,
Yeah.
But ready to move on? You got anything to say, Dave?
Yeah, thank you, Pinky, very much for the super chat. We appreciate that.
Sorry.
Legend.
Yes.
I definitely.
Super chats. That's
Thank
very
you,
nice.
Pinky. Yeah, sorry, Pinky. I put it up on screen and then I just hit it and moved on. I had squirrel brain there when talking about that picture. Let's go.
That's known to be aggressive in here? And if so, what could be causing that aggression?
I believe that we've got some spirits that are genuinely trapped here, perhaps because of the treatments that they underwent, perhaps because of the trauma that they had, perhaps because of how lost they were, perhaps because they were completely dumped by their families and literally died without a name or a birthday. But then I think we've got a whole heap of other spirits here that stay here, not because they're trapped, but that they feel a sense of obligation to those spirits that are tortured and trapped. They are not trapped here. They know where we live. And, they can go wherever they like, whenever they like.
It's a beautiful place.
Di and Jasmine and so many
For
other
sure.
people have come to Aradale and left with a life-changing paranormal experience, and now feel a connection to this asylum.
Let me
We gotta
just
get
say.
Connor over there.
Oh, go ahead.
I was saying we got to get Connor over there sometime.
Yes.
Oh my God, guys. I could use the bathtub. There's soap there, I see.
Yeah, that soap is from when the asylum was open. I remember them telling us that when they were walking through, which is why I got a shot of it. So that bar of soap that you saw right here on the bottom of the screen that we kind of went over the focus with, that is an actual bar of soap from when the asylum was open.
Oh, good God. I don't know how I could handle this place by myself when they're alone. If that apparition picture is real, like that would be so freaking frightening.
I tell you, that men's infirmary is freaky. It was
Really?
so, yeah. Oh my gosh. I usually don't get rattled, but that building had me a little rattled with how creepy it was.
It was very creepy.
In Australia isn't even that old, right? It's not even that old. It's from what? Like it was founded, 1800s? Am I wrong?
I believe that's correct. Yeah. I mean, there's probably some Aussies in the chat that can correct us on that. But I do believe Australia, I think was a prison colony for the UK, which is how it originally got started. And, or maybe I'm thinking of.
No, you're right. It just started off like that, I think.
So it has an interesting history and a tragic history on its beginnings. So.
Where so many horrible things happened, with the hope that the people who lived the tragedy of Aradale aren't forgotten.
When I first started working here, we used a spirit box, but we never really used a portal or anything. And spirit boxes are so hard to understand. So we started using a portal because it clears things up. But it was disturbing to me because we had this symphony which sounded like about 300 people talking all at once saying, "Help me, help us, help me, help us." And the more you slowed the recording down to listen to it more carefully, the more traumatic it sounded. And so we started prodding, how can we help? How can we help? Because we don't know how to help their spirits, we're going to say. But basically, they just want to tell their story. They do. And they can take a long time to tell their story. Sometimes it can take a couple of years for one person to tell their story, and it's less than a couple of paragraphs. But yeah, we give them that opportunity, and I think they enjoy that.
Thank you, Tara, for that correction. Yeah, British settlement 1788. So it's,
okay,
late 18th century, early 19th century. And then Amy had asked if we were afraid when we were in there. I think you'll see as we watch through from our reactions that we were a little bit on edge in the men's infirmary building. I mean, were we terrified? Probably not terrified, but it definitely had us on edge.
There was something in there I was terrified of.
Spiders?
Yes. When
Oh
we were
my
shooting
God.
B-roll, and that's a story that we don't tell in the episode either. When we were shooting B-roll, so the cinematic shots like the one you're seeing here, I remember we landed, or when we drove up to the asylum, the first thing we did before we lost sunlight completely was I had the camera on the Ronin and we were running through the asylum, just grabbing any shots we could that we could edit into this. Just, I mean, absolutely sprinting like a whirlwind tour, just grabbing shots. And we made it into one of the wards and we looked up and it has huge ceilings. I mean, you would like vaulted ceilings, or, I mean, they were probably like 15 feet high.
Not tall enough.
They were pretty high up, but you could see a huge huntsman spider on the ceiling of the ward.
Oh my God.
I mean,
that's why I'd be scared to go to Australia, is because those big spiders. Like, hell no.
Like the size of my hand, and it was up on the ceiling. But like I said, it was really high up there, but Dave was freaked out. So
imagine us three going to Australia and Ryan's just filming B-roll and we're not really holding light real well because we're seeing spiders everywhere. We're very useful.
It would be quite the entertaining video just to have Ryan film me and you walking through here.
Spider encounters, spider quest.
Yeah, well, you should have gone into the public outdoor park restroom that I went to, because I remember I really had to use the restroom whenever we were driving through. I can't remember which location we were going to. It was one of the many that we did. And I begged Allison. I was like, can you please pull over at this park? Because I really have to go. And I went in there and I sat down on the toilet and I looked as I shut the door. I mean, it's just like a wooden shack. It's not even like, it's one of those almost like outhouse type restrooms. And as I shut the door in front of me and I was sitting there, I look in front of me, the whole left corner, probably about 2.5 feet away from my face, was just covered in spider webs with these giant, what looked like, I don't even know what type of spider it was, but I just remember I snapped a picture of it and I showed it to Allison when I got back in the car and I said, what type of spider is this? And she said, deadly.
Oh my God. Imagine just, doing your business and you just get bit by a deadly spider.
Yeah, that'd be embarrassing.
No, you wouldn't even know. I mean, it couldn't be embarrassing if someone just found you on the toilet.
I think that was it. I remember that. A long drop. Right?
The type of spider?
Yeah.
A long drop? What does that mean?
It may have been. I don't know.
I'm not looking it up.
I'm not looking it up either.
Is that even a type of spider?
I swear I remember something like that.
A long drop? What does that mean? So they can drop, obviously drop long. Like, that means from the high ceilings, like, you're walking and they just
He's going to put it on screen.
No.
Don't even put it on screen.
No, it wasn't one of these, no. I don't think a long drop spider is even a thing.
Or they just
unless that's a
drop you on the
nickname
ground
for it.
long.
Yeah, Pinky says she's talking about the toilet.
Oh.
You have me trying to look up if there's such a thing as a long drop spider. And oh my gosh.
Well, it shows we know a lot of those spiders.
Yeah.
So.
The fear is real, y'all.
No, in the most recent episode that we uploaded from Whispers Estate, Dave came over to me today and he said, did you know there was a giant spider on the ceiling when we were on the stairs at Whispers Estate? And I said, no. And he said, someone commented and said, check out this giant spider. And he gave me the timestamp and I went and I looked and it was a red splotch of paint on the ceiling. It wasn't even a bug. It was a red splotch of paint. And I said, really, Dave? Really?
Fellas, I got to get my dinner. I'm hungry.
Alrighty, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Of course. We'll just shoot me a text when y'all are getting off of here. Everybody, I appreciate all of you guys letting me be in here. No, you probably didn't have a choice, but thank you for dealing with me too.
Guys, go subscribe to Connor's channel. I've got it as the pinned comment right now. Go check him out. Binge watch his episodes. He's got a lot over there. And
thank you. There is a brand new episode that is going to be very highly sought after this weekend, Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
You won't want to miss it.
Don't want to.
You can't miss it. You're not allowed. All 171 of you here are not allowed to miss Connor's episode this weekend.
That's right.
If you do, I'll be sad. But I'll understand if you don't want to watch me. I wouldn't want to watch me either.
Oh, my God. Go eat your food.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you all later. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of this video.
Bye.
Later, Connor. Bye.
Bye.
So, yeah, in long story short, when you're in Australia, outdoor public outhouse style toilets, you're never safe.
You couldn't pay me any amount of money to walk in one.
Yes, I did mean 172. I don't know what I said. So sorry, Ryan, if I misspoke. I have absolutely no idea what I said. I'm still running on fumes from this weekend. I had a very, very long day on Saturday, like a 22-hour day. So my brain is still not recovered.
Here in 4 years has changed from when I first started working here. We still have some really mean spirits around here, and we don't try and connect with them too much. But we also have some, I think, that really appreciate our presence.
And that's what's important to remember as we go into this investigation tonight. The history and hauntings of places like this can be terrifying, but when Aradale Asylum speaks, it's to help us learn from the sins of the past.
I believe it's important to rehash these historical events and treatments and how poorly we performed and how poorly we treated people. And that unsugar-coated dark history, the reality of what psychiatric care was like in the 1800s and even right through the 1900s, in fact. You know, we were not performing well right up until the 1970s in all reality, simply because a lot of these people died as a consequence of their being committed here. And their deaths are not in vain if we keep talking about it, because we're reminding people of not just how poorly we did. I'd like to think that in another 100 years, we can look back at today and go, oh, gee, wasn't it brutal? Like, look how far we've come. I really think by talking about then, we can remind ourselves that we do still have a long way to go in psychiatric care. We still have a lot of research to do, and we still have a lot in our delivery of care.
And that's a very good point right there that Di is making, and that's why I had to leave it in the episode, because it is absolutely true. People always ask, why do you put so much history in your videos? And, you know, the whole point of history is to learn from the mistakes of the past and to not relive those mistakes in the future, and to understand how far we've come since those days.
Absolutely.
And to just look at the history of this place and to see the absolutely terrible conditions that these people live through is just, it's sobering, but it definitely reminds us as a society how much we've progressed. Not enough, but how far we've come.
Which isn't very far at all, to be honest.
Good point.
She agrees.
Here we go. The investigation.
With the sheer size of this asylum and the darkness descending over it, the atmosphere is already chilling. And we'll be sharing Aradale tonight with Adelaide Haunted Horizons and Amy's Crypt, who will
2 more channels to go and subscribe to, everyone, if you're not already subscribed to them.
Of course.
We had a lot of fun being in Australia and getting to hang out with them. And of course, it's all thanks to that lady in the bottom left-hand corner there, Allison from Adelaide Haunted Horizons. And, and CAG, of course, put us up in her house and dealt with us for nearly a month straight.
That poor soul.
Amy and Jared, of course, traveled around with us to some of the locations, and we had a blast. So definitely go and check their channels out.
Yeah.
each be investigating and making their own videos. So make sure you head over to their channels and subscribe as well. Amy and Jared will be investigating the matron's quarters, while Allison and Cag will be starting in the women's ward. Our plan is to start in the morgue, which is in a separate building behind the ward buildings, but Di informs us the last ghost tour of the night is currently in that building. So she takes us to the men's infirmary to watch out the window and wait for the tour to leave.
And then once the tour was done in the morgue, they were done. So,
Yeah, everybody left the building after that.
Okay, head down the mortuary right now,
The mortuary.
which means as soon as they leave, it's free for the rest of the night.
Oh, perfect.
I can't actually stand in here, you guys, but you're free to watch them out the window and check out in here as well as you like, but I'm going to stand outside.
You don't like it in here?
No.
Okay.
This is the men's infirmary. No, I don't really like it.
it shows you how creepy that building
We
is.
were so focused on the morgue, we'd forgotten all about this building where the tour staff believes someone angry and aggressive resides. So we decide to set up here for a few minutes while we wait for the morgue to be free. And it doesn't take long for the paranormal activity in the men's infirmary to begin.
Maybe like right here.
You could very much feel the heaviness of this place when you were in there.
Camera should have got it. I'm not sure if that was the REM pod. That was the Mel.
It was the Mel.
Of course.
I got it though on that one. Is there someone in here with us?
I forgot about that noise.
Something is slamming in this room right here.
Yeah, I
Slamming.
heard that. What was it?
I don't know. There's nothing in there.
Thank you, Sarah.
This was what area?
This was the men's infirmary. I'm gonna set ghost tube right here.
Great to meet you too, Chris. Thank you for coming out and
The
supporting the
tours are
event.
gonna be done here very shortly, so she looked out the window to see if the tour had been done in the morgue so we could go in. And she said, you're more than welcome to watch the window for them to leave, but
You're
not
more
staying
than
here."
welcome.
So something really freaks her out about this place.
Yeah.
And as we were setting up, the Mel meter just went off.
Wait.
Thank you.
We're gonna have to check the audio, but right as you were saying that, I'm 99% sure I heard a male voice down here.
That would be insane to spend the night there.
I forgot about that voice right there. And
Yeah.
the last tour that was in the morgue and nobody had left, and everyone else was so far away. Do you all hear that? That is so creepy. I didn't know whether we caught
Is
that
there
or not.
somebody in that room right there? Gentlemen, we've come a long way from America to come here to talk to you. So if you're here, let us know. You can set this off. You can set this one off.
Did someone die in these rooms here?
I really want to go
Set
back
up the
here.
flux here.
Me too, because we barely got to cover
Take
really
it into that room.
hardly any of it, any of the asylum, but like 3 or 4 spots, I think. It's so massive. You could spend a week there and investigate new places every night.
Oh yeah.
So we're setting up the flux right now, and it is actually a pyramid-shaped device that also determines proximity, kind of like the REM pod and the Mel meter.
If you guys would like to see us go back here
This
someday,
particular
put a
one
thumbs up in
has
the chat.
directionality as well. One side is green and one side is red. So you can either have someone just touch it for touching its sake, or you could ask yes/no questions if you identify to whoever you're speaking to on how to do that. But
which that is something that I actually forgot that we had used when we were in Australia. I remember Allison and Cag had quite a few of those fluxes. And to be honest, in comparison to what we use with the Epoch, I feel like maybe we should, if you guys want us to, put in the chat right now, we'll try and see if we can find one of those flux devices, because I like how it's not dependent on the EMF or the environmental electrical readings of the air like the Epoch is. This one is just simple. Get close to the right side, the red light will turn on. Get close to the left side, the green light will turn on with proximity, so it's not complicated like the Epoch is. So
Yeah, let us know, guys, if you want us to get one of those. I forgot the name of it already, but
the flux.
The flux.
whoa,
Christian.
the pyramid thing went off.
He didn't know the name then either.
Yeah, tree. And it said Christian right after it went off.
Is that your name? Is your name Christian? Or are you a Christian?
Gentlemen, are you in here with us?
Whoa. It's not windy outside, is it?
No.
When we walked over here, it wasn't windy at all. If that's you slamming something, can you do it again for us so we can hear it?
Can you see that blinking light in the room there? If you can you try and touch it? It'll let us know that you're here.
We keep both clicking on it at the same time.
Is this yours?
Pardon me while I have a couple potato
what
chips,
hours?
y'all. I'm starving.
This is turning into a mukbang.
Which one of these are you talking about? Touch one of them to let us know which
Or
one you're speaking
mukbang,
of.
or whatever they call it.
Whoa. What is that?
I don't know.
Okay. That could be what that is. This window pane is loose.
Is that you?
That wasn't me. But I think the sound that we're hearing in this room is just pressure of, even though it's not windy, it's just pressure.
Have a good night.
Bye, Lila.
This is all I did. I'm even closer. Yeah, I didn't even get this close. That wasn't me.
Wow.
I'll step out of your room, okay? Okay. So we were able to debunk that sound that we were hearing. The window pane in that room is loose. So if there's any sort of air pressure or air movement through that corridor between the buildings there, it's going to push that window and rattle it. Just as when I touched the window and it rattled.
How many?
Same thing.
And that just goes to show you guys, whenever you do an investigation like that, it's very important when you hear the sounds to go toward the sound where it's coming from, listen for it again and see if it's repeatable and see if it's caused by something that's naturally occurring like that. Because if we had just said, wow, really loud banging sound, that's scary, and ran away, sure, it might have been more entertaining, but, it wouldn't have been real paranormal evidence because it was just the wind on the window pane.
Yeah, then we would have just been like every other channel on YouTube. Just
If you're here, can you go down this hallway for us? Can you walk down this hallway?
It can smell
So we
musty
can
and
see
moldy
you?
in some places, but not all.
Can you tell us what your name is, please?
Recently.
You want to pop the action cam in this doorway and do a little out there? Whoa. Did you get that? Yeah.
Thank you very much for doing that. You're welcome.
You know what's weird?
Yeah, thanks
Can
for
you try
Crystal's
it one
in
more
the chat.
time?
What's up, Crystal?
It's like every time we turn our backs.
Yeah.
That's why I want to do what I just said. Yeah. Do you need the top one? Damn it. God damn it. It was my fault.
So there you go, guys. It's not just a couple of investigation occurrences. We frequently have things fall. We drop things, but that's also actually, I think, symptomatic of the fact that we basically have to carry everything, just the two of us. You know, we have two hands and about 80 pounds of equipment to carry. So
Yeah. We've since upgraded to having, that was the alien hatching. I'm sorry.
what was that noise?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But we've since upgraded to having backpacks to take stuff along with us. We learned that from Amy and Jared on this trip, actually, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, we back at this time we just had cases and giant bags that we would take to the locations, and then we would carry stuff in our hands every session to every other place that we went. It was just a nightmare. And even though we've learned, we still can't help but drop stuff.
Yeah.
I pushed down on the thing. And I was... Whoa.
Thank you.
Did.
Did. It said did. Dude, it said did.
Wow.
Thank you.
Dude, it said did. Could you hear it?
That's amazing.
I know you probably heard it. I know you probably heard it, but did you see it?
Is that you doing that?
Right there, you can tell we're a little freaked. Or at least I was.
We were a little spooked.
So you understand we're not here to hurt you, right? We're nice guys. We just want to talk.
Wow. Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
I don't
whoa,
think
whoa, whoa.
I don't think there's any power in this building either, is
It
there?
went all the way to purple.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
If that's you doing that, can you knock that over?
Does anybody know?
Can you push that over? It would be the first time anyone's ever done that for us.
In the madness of me dropping the battery for the action camera, everything went crazy. Not only was the millimeter alarming, but we also captured a man's voice that we can't explain. It wasn't us, and the tour is now gone, so we are far away from any other living people. Take a listen, and if you can make out what it's saying, tell us in the comments below.
So you understand we're not here to hurt you, right? So you understand we're not here to hurt you, right?
Creepy, and that's definitely another clear voice. I was shocked. I forgot how many disembodied voices there were at this place.
Mm-hmm.
And before we move on, I wanted to say to Cree, thank you for, I saw you up there saying that you were in Mr. Gray's live stream. You were telling people in the chat that we do debunk ourselves, which, you know, we are very proud to do. We're proud to say that we debunk ourselves and that we don't claim that everything is paranormal. And if there's a natural explanation that we can find, we'll tell you guys that. So thank you for making people aware of that.
Absolutely.
Can you try and
Why
push...
did you come?
Try and push that over.
We'll
We'd
answer
love
that
it if
question.
you could do that for us.
We'll answer this question in a second.
Come on, you can do it.
Bedroom.
Go for it. Push it.
Dude, bedroom. This was the sick ward. I'm sure those rooms back there were bedrooms.
Probably.
Maybe they weren't, but that's kind of weird. Do you want us to get out of your bedroom? If you want us to get out of your room and you don't like us being in here, make that go all the way up again. All the way.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
All the way. Touch it stronger. Make it red.
That's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
To Ryan's question, can animals mess with the equipment? Do you want to answer that one, Dave?
Yeah, they absolutely can. It's happened many times during our investigations in the episodes.
But you really can tell, like, one thing that is true is that if a bug flies to the antenna of the REM pod, it will set the REM pod off. But that's why you see whenever the REM pod goes off, specifically there, Dave zoomed in on that millimeter, specifically the antenna, so you can see as it's going off, because bugs show up pretty visibly in night vision, right? So it really is a matter of those night vision cameras can see bugs very well. So that's why with the night vision cameras, we zoom in, or at least try to zoom in, to see if there's anything flying around the antenna. And a lot of the times there isn't, so. But in regards to other animals, we've captured mice running into the back of equipment and knocking it over. We've captured, cats and raccoons messing with the equipment, and, especially on abandonment.
Oh, yeah.
Are you happy that somebody is just here to talk to you?
Oh, dead animals, or deceased animals, I should say. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe like animal spirits. I'm not sure.
Are you upset that we're in here talking to you?
Someone's mad that we're here, man. Someone is pissed that we're here.
Real quick, guys, I'm gonna leave Ryan to this just for a second. I need a restroom break. I'll be right back.
If you're upset, knock that over
everybody wanted
for
to
us,
know that.
and we'll leave. If you're...
Got to take a 10-100.
That's it. If you're upset that we're here and you want us to leave, knock that over so we know.
Knife.
Knife. Dude. Are you gonna stab us, or are you gonna hurt us?
The triangle.
It lit up green.
Yeah.
For yes.
Yeah.
The flex just lit up green for yes back in that room.
The flux, not the flex. Or the triangle thing, the flux.
Wow.
You could definitely, the way the equipment was interacting.
Push it over.
The way the equipment was interacting back
Throw it
then
at us.
was pretty crazy.
How about I use this box right here? Can you speak to me through this?
Chains.
Careful, careful. Oh, you got the battery pack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
It just said leave.
It did?
Yeah. Do you want us to leave?
Did it just say yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Are you mad that I'm getting closer?
Oop.
You.
Wow.
Paused that at the wrong time. Let me go back just a little bit there, because I did pause that at the wrong time.
You.
Wow.
I think it just said them.
Push it over!
I was getting feisty.
Who is it that keeps trying to hurt the tour guides here? Where are you? Where'd you go?
Guys, make sure to hit the like button if you're enjoying
Quit
this.
doing that when you got closer.
We're not going to run from you. I know there are some people that come through here that might run when you start making stuff happen, but we're not going to run. You're going to have to really make something happen to scare us out of here.
Hiding.
Hiding.
We know you're hiding. You're afraid of us, aren't you? You're scared of us, aren't you?
Did I just say yes?
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
And the wild thing about the Mel meter going off is, you know, there are environmental factors that will set off the REM devices like that, you know, like two-way radios and things, but none of us in the building, including Allison, Cag, Amy, Jared, none of us had two-way radios. And then the only tour guide that was there was Di, and they were back in the, you know, her and her daughter were back in the break room. And so they didn't need two-way radios because they weren't communicating with anyone. So the fact that the Mel meter was going off was just crazy. And it's not like it sits down in the middle of town where there's two-way radios running around in cars with the police or something like that. This sits up on a hill by itself. It's its own complex. It's like its own little town of buildings. So, you know, there was nothing on that complex that could have interfered with that we know of.
Nope.
We've heard that there is something here that can get pretty nasty, that there are some nasty spirits here. Have you ever tried to hurt someone?
Granddaughter.
Do you want to hurt us?
Have fun, Brittany.
Hopefully they're peanut butter cupcakes.
It sounded like it said correct and then yes.
Really?
Hopefully not.
I want to try something real quick. Okay. I just want to set this here.
Yeah, if you guys are enjoying this, make
Passing
sure to
through.
like the video and share this out wherever you can. Let's see if we can get 200 people in here watching with us tonight.
Whenever we're investigating, Pam, we keep our cell phones in airplane mode the entire time to make sure that it doesn't interfere with any of the equipment.
Creepy down here. Yeah, it is.
Whoops.
If there are any patients, reach out and talk to us.
What?
There's a box in my hand here. You can use it to speak to me. Can you tell me where we are right now?
Is he dead?
Sure. Help.
If you're back in the infirmary there, the hospital, follow us down the hall here.
Say what? Sound like a little kid went, Dad.
Thank you, Amy. We
Is
appreciate
there a
it.
child here that's lost?
Do you mean they're playing Our Cabin series on ID Discovery?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
I'm
Walk
confused.
down
by
the
that.
hall.
It's probably just a documentary about the story, I would imagine.
Lasted 8 minutes. And it seems the further we got from the room where the Mel meter is, the less interaction we had through the spirit box. Also, the entire time we were outside of this room, the REM function on the Mel meter did not trigger once. And the ghost tube
That makes
didn't
more
say
sense.
a single word. This leads us to believe there really is intelligent interaction going on, because if the equipment was being affected by some naturally explainable interference, it would keep triggering, whether we're in the room or not. So the question is, what will happen when we return to this room?
Are you mad that we're here?
Thank you.
Thank you, Jan.
We're coming back in.
I am. Did you hear that?
I did.
The man's voice said, I am.
Sorry. I hate to pause, but I need to address this comment here real quick. I have been trying for months to find some places in Canada for us to film and investigate. Awesome freeze frame, by the way. It is very difficult to find locations in Canada where you can go and do private investigations, because everything that I have seen, they're all run by independent tour companies, and they only do public events through their tour company. So if anybody out there lives in Canada and is willing to find locations in Canada for us that already allow private investigations that aren't public investigations, let me know. Send us an email of those locations.
Or if you own a building that is supposed to be haunted in Canada, that is a really cool old historic haunted building, and you own it and you're willing to let us investigate, also contact us from that as well. Because we don't want to come up to Canada and then
Yeah, we do.
well, yeah, we do. But what I'm saying is we don't want to we don't like doing public events. You know, it's not conducive for capturing evidence. We have done
Not for filming.
Right, not for filming. We like to do public events where we investigate with you guys, but when we film, we want to make sure there's no contamination. We don't want anyone else in the building. And that's important when we film and investigate, so that we're not hearing the other investigators down the hall or the other investigators upstairs. So we want to make sure that we have basically full run of the building to ourselves when we investigate. So if anyone has any locations that allow that, let us know.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter where in Canada, because Ryan and I love to travel, so we'd love to go and check out new places in Canada. But if you can find a location, it would be helpful if we could find 2 or 3 or 4 different locations within an hour of two of said location, if that computes. So like if there's one in Vancouver, maybe like 2 or 3 other ones within an hour or 2 of Vancouver. So, yes.
That would be awesome. Let me see. We got contact Cassie and Ruan from Weeping Willow Paranormal in Canada. I'm sure they could help.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, let me know what you guys can come up with, and then you can just email us. Our email is listed on our YouTube page. So anyway, sorry for the distraction and delay.
We're coming back in.
I am. Did you hear that?
I did. We're coming back in.
I am. Did you hear that?
I did.
The man's voice said, I am. That chills.
Yeah, dude, me too.
All my hair is standing up.
If you don't want us to come back in, make that go off again.
Is this the angry spirit? Is this the angry person?
Anger.
Anger.
Is this the angry spirit? Is this the angry person?
Anger. Anger.
Are you mad because what you thought would happen after you died wasn't actually what happened?
Hey, Rob.
Rob.
Wow.
Are you mad because you didn't go to heaven?
They're witches.
I thought it said, I wish.
Oh, maybe it did.
This is fucking
I
wild.
forgot
I
about
did not
that.
expect this when we walked in here.
They're
we weren't even
witches.
supposed-
I love the way you said it too. You tried to image-
witches.
Wait, can we do that when we listen to that one more time?
I wish.
One more time. Hold on.
They're witches.
They're witches.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, put that down in the comments. They're witches.
They're witches.
I thought it said, I wish.
Oh, maybe it did.
Dude, this is fucking wild. I did not expect this when we walked in here.
No, we weren't even supposed to come in here.
No.
I'm going to interrupt one more time. I'm going to pin Savvy's comment right here. Guys, if you know anybody in North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, any of those areas that got pummeled, is that the right word? By the hurricane, these people really need your help. These people don't have anything left. I wish there was something that we could do, or I would love to be able to go down there myself and try and help out for a day or two. So if anybody knows of anything, let me know. Yeah, just be careful with different fundraisers and stuff you see going around. But the American Red Cross is a great way to help. So anyway, yeah.
Yes.
Are you trapped here on Earth? Are you trapped in this building? Is your soul trapped in this building?
I don't know what accent that was, John. No
This
clue.
REM pod into the left room.
It's not West Virginia, that's for sure.
Really quick, I'm going to check the times here because I think I don't know if someone's going to be coming in here or not. The morgue would be available, I think, after, or maybe not, but we have women's is available from 10:30 to 11:30 if we wanted to.
So that right there was Jared's list of locations that are available. I remember when we got there, we like to make sure things are structured and organized, but Jared is an entirely different animal with his structure and organization on investigations. So we were setting up equipment and he's like, everybody sit down around this table and we are going to make sure that we know which areas are available and where we can go at exactly what time. And he had like written down on pieces of paper and given it to us. So that's what we're looking at there. We're looking at Jared's notes of like, okay, this is where we can go, because we were supposed to be in the morgue at this point, but our time for the morgue was running out. And we were wondering, like, can we still go there? You know, it's like, did we use up all the time in the men's infirmary? So yeah, that's what we were looking at there on that list was Jared.
Yeah.
Jared's in-depth time notes.
Very, very in-depth. Also another wonderful freeze frame there.
Do that. It just said heaven.
It did.
I think it said something heaven. It just said heaven.
Ryan used to fall asleep standing up when we were filming, he doesn't do that so much anymore, but I think
Yeah.
that was the college days where you're trying to juggle college and filming
And working.
and working. Yeah.
Because I also had a job and I went to college full time and did PQ pretty much almost full time. That wasn't quite weekly uploads, but it was, like bi-weekly uploads. So yeah, I do remember there were many a times that I would do that, or then I would like sit down on something. I remember I fell asleep on a residential investigation. I just happened to sit down on their bed and kind of leaned back, and then Steve snuck up and he lifted the mattress and dropped it while I was sleeping, and then I just sat straight up like the Undertaker. It was just like
Yeah. So yes, we do get tired and very, very tired. We don't fall asleep anymore, but normally by the end of the episode, you'll talking like really slurred like this.
yeah, that was when we did the Dumas brothel with Allison and Cag. I remember when I did my outro for one of the last sessions, I remember I tried to avoid using my face camera angle as much as I possibly could. I used like the wide angle of me sitting and then the camera angle that was showing the other room as much as I could, because as I was talking, I looked like this as I was trying to talk into the camera to sign off. I was slurring my speech. It was, like some of the raw footage on these investigations is just hilarious when we get tired. When we were at that, Billy Creek Village, remember at the church when I was doing that, or was that a different church? Maybe that was Auglaze Village.
I don't remember. Shocking. I know.
I think that was Auglaze Village, that when I was signing off, I sounded like I was drunk. I was slurring my speech so much. I was that tired. Or no, that was, oh gosh, that was in Australia.
Talem Town?
That was at Talem Town at the church.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
The jet lag hit real hard on that one.
See you later, Jan.
It just said heaven. Do you want to go to heaven? The thing that interests me most about that millimeter is that when we set it up, we were setting up this camera, getting everything ready to start with the session. It went off with a small blip, like blip, 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 blip.
About 3.5 weeks.
Rembot.
27 days.
But then it was silent for like 10 minutes. And then once it started to go off, it became very responsive to us. And now it has just stopped. But I seriously do think that there is something here, because this was a very sad place, and you have to think of the anger that goes along with being abandoned in a place like Aradale Asylum. Someone might still to this day be angry that they were left here, and they felt that they would finally be able to leave after death. And they're still here, and that makes them angry. And maybe that's why the staff, the tour guides, don't like this area.
Yeah.
Because there's someone here who is so angry they're going to take that out on whoever comes in here. That's what it feels like, and that's what it seems like to me from what we captured.
Yeah, I agree.
But do you want to move over? I think the neck. Oh, let's hit the spirit box.
It's off.
What was that sound then?
I didn't hear anything.
Finish.
That's weird, man. Yes, we're just about finished.
We're gonna leave. I think at this point, the area that's free for us to go to is the first level of the women's quarters.
Yes.
So,
According to Jared's list.
do you want to go over there?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's gather this up.
Okay, this is going to be Dave Estes' session,
Oh, I forgot we did an Estes
At,
session in the women's ward.
Aradale.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh.
What?
you said YouTube did something to you that you couldn't afford to go again. Can you explain what happened? No, it was so what happened, Cree, is the reason why we're live right now on our Paranormal Quest Extras channel and not the Paranormal Quest main channel is there's something strange with the algorithm, whether our channel's old because we started it before you could ever do live streams on YouTube, or whether we just don't live stream regularly, so it messes up the algorithm of the channel when we do live stream. That when we were on the Wild West trip, we did 2 live streams, and that threw our main episodes out of the algorithm, or something happened to the point to where we were just barely breaking even on where we could go and film, and we got ourselves into a bunch of credit card debt from the trip out west that we couldn't pay off. So what we had to do is, because we couldn't pay off what we had already spent on that past trip, we couldn't afford to go to the UK with Allison and Cag, which they've been there for the past couple of weeks. So
yeah. Yeah. Some people make a lot of money on YouTube. I wish we were one of them, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way for everybody. But real quick, I do see a lot of people mentioning they didn't get notifications and stuff. Couple of things that might be because this is the second channel. Make sure that you have notifications turned on for this second channel. And if you do, we have always been told by YouTube to tell people to unsubscribe and then resubscribe. So maybe try that. Maybe that'll work for you.
Okay, just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, let's do this.
All right. If there's any women here, any ladies here who live at Aradale.
And thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you saying that sucks and that, you know, we deserve to make a lot of money. I didn't tell you that story because I wanted to pull on your heartstrings, that, you know, expecting money in some form or fashion. The reason I said it was because kind of an explanation as to why we didn't go on that trip, you know, because it was something that we had teased in the past at the beginning of this year that we were going to do, and then we didn't. And I know people were confused. Why didn't you go to the UK when you had said that you were going to go to the UK this year? And that's why we didn't go to the UK this year. So,
yeah. But, you know, stuff happens.
Maybe we'll get there next year.
My friend Dave is over there in the next room. In the day room.
Thank you, Laws. Thank you for donating to a good cause.
Tell him your name. There's a very creepy feeling.
Yes, thank you very much for making a donation, Laws.
Or there's all of this stuff which is set up.
Which I've never realized that's how you say your name. I always thought it was something else.
All you have to do is touch it.
I always thought it said lots of mots.
So I've always read it as Laws from Oz, and please, I apologize if that's not the way you pronounce it, but that's just what makes sense to me, is Laws from Oz.
I'm sure it makes more sense than mine.
Sounded like a female said down.
Okay. Do you want me to sit down? I'll sit down. I don't know about this. There's a lot of Australian critters that hang out in these old buildings, but
this is one of the wards that we saw the huntsman. I don't think this was that.
How's
ward,
that?
But I think this was one of them.
Is this better?
It was in this type of ward that we saw the huntsman spider.
Something just moved that door right there. Is there someone in there? That door is locked. Are you trying to open that door?
Hide behind you or right behind you.
Dude.
I thought
Don't
it meant
have a good
lots of
feeling right now.
mozzarella, like lots of moss. There's not a whole lot going on up here, you guys.
Something just moved that door right there.
A real fan of mozzarella
This door
cheese.
Just moved though.
I can't remember what was behind that door now.
Know what's in there?
I think it was just a room.
Oh yeah, it just leads to a stairwell maybe. I don't know.
It goes outside. But it sounded like the door went. I don't even know. What's behind this?
Sounded like a female said, "I know."
Who is the lady that's playing pranks on me right now?
I used to do that
Are
as
you
well.
trying to scare me by moving things? Are you trying to show me where you are?
That is the spider opening the door.
Try opening one of these doors right here.
Oh,
Can you
Dave's
do
gone
that?
again. What happened? Where did Dave go?
It's
Oh, no.
getting very cold in this room. Behind, male voice.
Behind.
Yes, Tina, we do. It's actually listed on our channel. If you go to our channel, you
back
can
up
find
against-
that. You can find
back up
the
against the wall
PayPal
right
and
now.
even our contact email and that
Is there
sort of
something
thing as
behind
well.
that
So,
door?
but I do believe our PayPal is listed on
Is
our
there something
channel.
behind that door that we should know about? Is there something behind that door that we should know about?
This is the Aradale Lunatic Asylum.
Coming in here.
While Dave is gone, so I don't get too far ahead in the episode to get his reaction, I'll answer this question right here. Have you guys ever come across people at one of the properties you've been at that weren't supposed to be there? Generally, that doesn't happen simply because we only go to locations that we get permission from the owner and that we know are not just wide open to urbexers and stuff. Now, I know we have been to locations that there have been other people who have come across people that weren't supposed to be in there. I know Indiana Sanatorium was in the past was notorious for having trespassers that would go into the building, and investigators would find that there were trespassers in there. And then we did St. Joseph Hospital years ago that was notorious for having trespassers in the building. And when you go into those locations where you know there's a possibility that there could be trespassers, it definitely makes you a little bit more apprehensive being in there alone in these huge dark buildings, because you never know who's going to pop up. But this one was very well secured. Right, Dave?
Yeah.
They had asked if we ever have come across a trespasser in one of the haunted locations that we've been investigating.
Oh, gotcha. Also, what is my face?
You look disgusted.
I probably was.
Who lived down here?
Actually, if I remember right, I think I was very nauseous right there.
I think you do hear in a little bit say you feel like you're going to vomit.
Whew, I'm getting so nauseous.
Hold
Are you
on.
making
Wait a
him
minute.
feel-
I actually remembered something.
Nauseous? Speak to him. Say something to him. Can you tell us your name?
We should go back to the Queen Mary. That was a lot of fun. We got way too drunk and did way too much karaoke.
I mean, I wouldn't say drunk. We were
Is there anyone
definitely
down here?
enjoying ourselves.
I was drunk, I'll put it that way.
What was this room used for?
Thank you, Aubrey.
Can you go and tell Dave?
Thank you, Aubrey.
This just shows how two different sessions in the same asylum can be so different. Besides the one unexplained possible voice and the strange rattling of the door, nothing else peculiar has happened in the whole 45 minutes that we've been in the women's ward. Even the spirit box has been surprisingly quiet. But that's the nature of paranormal research, and the absence of action only adds validity to what happened in the men's infirmary.
Are you having anything happen?
Not in the past like 20 minutes.
Yeah, nothing has come through here.
It was weird because at the beginning you heard a female voice.
The karaoke exists somewhere online. I'm not sure where, but I'm sure Ryan probably knows where it's at, but
I think it's on the Adelaide Haunted Horizons Facebook page. Or maybe they uploaded it to their YouTube channel. I can't remember. I know it's one of their accounts.
yeah, so if you dig hard enough, you'll find it.
And
there was some very relevant.
sorry. I wanted to answer Amy's question there about do you often get sick in these locations? Not often. No, I wouldn't say it's often. It's every once in a while. Dave tends to get nauseous in certain locations, especially if it's... I feel like most of the locations you get nauseous in are hospitals.
Yeah, it's very weird, and there always tends to be some sort of activity right before or right after. Not something I talk about at all, really, is I'm pretty fairly in tune into being able to feel when spirits and whatnot are around. Usually that makes me nauseous when that happens. Oh, snap.
Thank you, She-3PO. What's funny about that? That's their name.
I just did not read it that way.
Did you read it as lots of mots?
I read it as sheepo.
No, it's a Star Wars reference.
That would be why. Okay.
But yes, so and I had something else to say and I can't remember what it is, but it'll come to me.
Stuff there when it kept saying behind you because it said down and I sat down on the floor.
Oh, really?
And then it sounded like something pushed on one of the doors down here as I was sitting on the floor. But then after that, it just went dead. None of the equipment's gone off that I know of. I even walked down this hallway and walked back. Haven't had a peep, so.
Wow.
I don't think so.
But you want to gather our stuff and then maybe finish off with a session in the morgue?
Yeah, let's do it.
We've had some locations that are very packed with security cameras and the REM pods never go off the entire night. So, you know, there would be some sort of correlation there. If it was some sort of cause for the REM pod to go off, we would have noticed by now that it's like, okay, locations that have security cameras, our REM pod never shuts up. But we've never noticed that at all.
So we're getting ready to start our final session here. Unfortunately, our time at Aradale is winding down, but we wanted to save this for last. Whenever this didn't pan out first, we knew we had to save this for last because the morgue was the final stop for many of the patients here at Aradale.
Yes, I do.
On record estimation, they said anywhere between 10,000 and 13,000 deaths on property, and they would have come through the morgue. So we're going to see if there's any activity in here. I am going to actually lay on the slab inside the body cooler, and Dave is going to push and lock me in the cooler for a little bit to see what happens. Are you ready, man?
I'm ready. Let's go do this.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I don't know if I've ever noticed that being a thing.
Well, it is, and I have actually heard people talk about that phenomena. When you enter a trance-like state, you're more likely to rock back and forth and not realize that you're doing it, especially when your senses are impaired. So when you're in a sensory deprivation situation, which during the Estes, your vision and your hearing are both impaired by the spirit box sweeping and a blindfold, you're more likely to rock back and forth and not even realize that you're doing it because of that sensory deprivation.
Yeah, I guess I have experienced that myself, but I must have not read the question right. I'm sorry.
Oh, you all right? What did you just hit?
Innocent.
Gurney handle straight to the nuts.
That gurney handle wasn't going anywhere.
What does that mean?
It was an immovable force. It hurts.
Oh, I see.
Probably got it.
Same.
Yes, we also know that lightning can set off EMF and REM triggered devices. If you watch our episode from Fairfield County Infirmary when we were investigating during a tornado outbreak with major thunderstorms, you'll see that we have to turn off all of the EMF triggered devices, including REM pods, tripwire, anything that is triggered by EMF can be triggered by lightning. So, yes.
Turn your hat around. Turning the hat around. Okay.
The amount of huntsman spiders that are
Hands are
probably
in.
living in this body cooler.
Okay.
You
Ready?
couldn't pay
Ready?
me.
I've wanted to do this for a long time, you guys. Here we go.
K2's down.
K2's down. 2 of them.
Does my mama ever ask what I'm thinking? No, she knows I'm crazy.
Before you shut that door, you want to set the K2s up?
Yeah. I don't know if they'll stay like that or not.
No. I wouldn't
See
say
what
I'm
happens.
claustrophobic. Santa Claus is an okay guy to
See
me.
you never.
See you never.
Just kidding.
What happened?
K2 down. It went all the way down.
Sure. We'll just have to get it when we're done.
Okay.
Hold on to that one.
Hand.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
God, I didn't realize it was that loud.
All right, I am officially locked in the cooler.
All right. Well, you guys are now permanently stuck with me. All right. We are now in the morgue. My name is Dave, and my friend Ryan is in the cooler there.
Wasn't cold in there, no Pinky.
And we're just trying to put ourselves somewhat through the experience that you went through while you were here. We don't mean any disrespect. We just would like to know what you went through.
The
You
refrigeration.
understand?
The refrigeration units were off, I think.
We know that your stay here at Aradale was unfortunately probably difficult,
Look who it is. It's Viva.
and we're sorry for that.
That's right. It's Viva.
Now we're hoping that you'll come out and speak with us while we're here. We have a few devices set up throughout. This one.
What do you think, Ryan? Do you get scared?
I mean, it just depends on what's happening and where we are. I mean, it really, there's times that I I wouldn't say we get scared in the sense of like if we hear a disembodied voice, we scream and run. I would say we get more easily startled. So if there's a loud noise, we'll jump 12 feet in the air if we're on edge, or scream and cuss.
Yeah. So fun little Easter egg. I don't even know if Ryan has noticed this. He probably has, but there are moments when we're filming and like if we split up or something, do solos. If I normally, as soon as we walk into a building, I immediately start tuning into whatever is in there, and I can pick up on the amount of energy in said place and whether or not it's a positive or a negative vibe. And if I get the sense of a negative vibe when we do our solos, I'm actually a little bit afraid of the dark, just a little bit. So if you look closely, sometimes you could see where I may have left a flashlight on in the background or something like that. And that's just because I'm a little spooked out. So.
Oh, I've noticed, and trust me. Remember how when we did the Halloween special last year and we split up between the Sally house and the Velisca house? And I don't think there was ever a time where you turned the lights off completely in that house when you were investigating in the Sally house. There was always at least one room that had a light on, including when you were in the basement. You had the light on at the top of the stairs.
Correct. And then it turned off.
Well, it had turned off before that.
Yes. But yeah, that's a fun little fact that I don't think I've ever shared before. So now pay attention.
There you go, guys. Next time you see Dave do a solo, you'll have to be watching out to know whether he's freaked out or not. You'll know he's freaked out if you see there's a light on somewhere.
Shelly.
Thank you, Shelly.
Legend. Thank you very much.
Much appreciated.
Yes.
See how it turned green?
No.
When I ask a yes or no question, you can light that up green for yes. And then this side turns red for no. Over here.
Nancy.
Oh. That you can touch to communicate.
Nancy?
And we have a music box right here.
Nancy, are you here?
All of those things will let us know that you're here.
I think the only thing that was, or the only place that was ever on that list was Bobby Mackey's.
But true.
Well, yeah, for different reasons. Moon River Brewing Company. But I finally told myself that I would go back there, and I was going to go and book it for us, but they have since permanently closed, which is sad.
Unfortunately, maybe they'll open it back up as a different business that allows investigations, hopefully. But yeah,
maybe.
Thank you, Carolyn Ward.
Thank you, Carolyn Ward. Much appreciated. Legends.
So I saw another question that we should probably answer before.
Pull it up.
There it is.
Have you ever had a spirit flirt with you? Depends on what you mean by flirt. Probably the romance cabin was a weird one.
Yeah, Cottage 13 at Mohegan's Landol's Mohegan Castle.
Yeah.
Where it was talking about the man meat surprise and the pillow moan and the bushy bottom and the
yeah. They got personal there. That's and then the I think the one brothel that we did with Connor, wasn't there something flirting with y'all in there?
I think it was flirting with Connor.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was Connor that it was flirting with. So
you and Ryan can go there.
He's back on his bullshit, Viva.
Nancy, can you touch that to let me know that you're here? Just like this. That's how you do it.
If you're in here with us, could you try alarming one of our devices to let us know?
Thank you, Shelly.
Thank you very much, Shelley.
Do you know that you have passed away?
I'm not gonna lie, it is very creepy in here to be laying on this.
Shelley, I'm not sure if you're
I'm just
asking
here-
what about Penhurst or if I meant Penhurst. Penhurst, I would like to go back if they would structure their investigations differently, but
Here to talk to you.
Daughter.
Don't mean any disrespect.
It said daughter.
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 You hear how much
Was your
reverb
daughter
there is?
here?
There's a lot of reverb in this place.
Can you reach out and grab my hand?
I wish that you would let me know you're here by making one of these devices go off.
That's right, Eloise with Allison and Cag. There, Estes, the ghost wanted to have your babies.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yikes.
That was a good one. And guys, go ahead and put in the chat. Let me know if you would lay on that slab and get locked in that cooler like I did. If you would, put a 1 in the chat. If you would not, put a 2 in the chat.
We just want to talk. We want to give you a chance to speak.
Did you lay on this slab? Just like I am now?
It surely does.
Could you go in there with Ryan and let him know what your name is? Was that you making that sound?
Go out there to Dave and push something over. I'm going to go outside and leave Ryan in here.
Yeah. I would say Savannah was probably the most unsettling investigation that I've ever done. Yes.
And probably one of my favorite cities.
Same.
I know, Dave's just going to leave me in there.
If anybody...
You all right, Dave?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, if anybody lives in Savannah, put up number 5 in the chat. Maybe we'll do a meetup if we go back.
Thank you, John. Much appreciated right there. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Legend.
I would say also that it was funny because I didn't know at the time that you left, but after I said that and I said, "You okay, Dave?" and you didn't respond, I immediately knew. I was like, "Oh, he left me in here." Immediately. I was like, "Oh, well, he's gone."
You didn't think it was my halfway deafness?
No.
Dave?
As soon as you didn't respond, I was like, "Oh, he's gone."
Well,
not a chance.
It appears Dave has left me in here alone. There's someone in this morgue with me. You can touch that to let me know that you're here. You can go out and touch one of the devices, one of the things with lights. Oh, no fucking way. Thank you.
Creepy.
Spooky.
Did you just not like that Dave was in here? Did you want us to be alone?
Not the right angle to be saying
Go out
that.
and
Not the
touch
right
one of
camera angle to
devices,
say
one
that.
of the things with lights. No fucking way. Definitely
It
wasn't
really
me.
is. Savannah feels like a different world.
Above my head, there's a box that you can use to speak to me and let me know where we are. Can you tell me what part of the building?
Whoops. We'll answer that question here in a second. Were you actually locked in? If you were actually locked in and that thing went off, I would freak out. I was actually locked in. As you can see, if you look at the front of the cooler face there, it's one of those locking latch doors. So it latches whenever it hits that. Whenever you shut it, it automatically latches. So there's no opening it from the inside. The only way to open it's to pull on that latch handle and get it up to get it open. So from where I was, there was no opening that cooler. What did I say?
I have no idea. You gotta pull on that latch and get it up.
You can see, guys.
Free
Hand
and
is right here, and it's not setting it off. Come on.
Yes, of course we would. We've always wanted to
Okay,
go to Myrtle's.
I'm back. Did you do anything? Were you able to make communication?
Dave's back again.
Guess what Myrtle's is next to?
The ocean.
Rest in peace.
We talk to Beardo from time to time.
We email every now and again.
What?
The ghost tube just said, "Rest in peace."
Wow.
And while you were gone, something touched the...
What was that face, Dave?
What? I missed it. Sorry, I was reading comments.
When you said, "Wow," watch your face.
Whoa.
What?
The ghost tube just said, "Rest in peace."
Wow.
I have no idea.
Wow.
Wow.
And while you were gone, something touched the Mel meter in here with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, Aubrey.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. And I hope you rest in peace as well. I hope if you...
I think that's pretty much the end of the episode, isn't it?
Yeah, from here we just kind of pull the you pull me out of the body cooler, and then we kind of
Something you hear every day.
yeah, you pull me out of the body cooler, and we talk about the activity that we captured, and talk about the somber history of that location.
Such a cool location, you guys. I forget what I was gonna say.
Thank you, Crystal. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you very, very much, Crystal. We really do appreciate it. We used to do these director's cuts all the time, so maybe we will bring them back, or maybe we'll do one every other Monday or something, and then on those other Mondays we'll do something else fun, like reactions to other spooky videos or something like that. I don't know, maybe some gaming. I don't know. I'd love to do something active on here on this channel for you guys, so let us know in the comments over there what you guys would like to see us do on here on Mondays other than these director's cuts.
We'll have to check that out, Deborah. Thank you so much for letting us know. I don't know who that is, but we'll have to check it out. Dave doesn't follow much of the paranormal YouTube sphere. He investigates and watches the episodes that we put out, but he doesn't watch really anything else except for Beardo every now and again.
I really like Beardo. The thing I like about Beardo is he can be very unhinged, and he's not afraid to say what he thinks, which is very much me. But yeah, I don't normally do that on camera, so I do appreciate that about Beardo. Duck sounds. Blooper reels. We don't really have many bloopers anymore.
I mean, we do, but most of the time the bloopers make the episodes.
Right, yeah.
Like falling down, falling through the floor, you know, you name it, whatever it is that happened. Most of the time now it makes the episode because we know how much you guys love to watch gaffes.
Thank you very much, Megan. We really appreciate it.
I just wanted to say that I watch you guys loyally. Thank you so much, Rhonda. We really appreciate it. And thank you so much for all your support and for being there to watch the channel and watch the content. We enjoy making it. And, you know, all of you out there watching make this all possible. So thank you so much for your support.
Absolutely. See you later, Anastasia.
Bye, Anastasia.
Happy October, everyone. It's not October here yet, but I can't believe that October is already here, y'all. It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. How is it October already? I'm so excited for it, though. I'm ready for the leaves to change, and I'm ready for the October full moon so I can go out and dance naked around a bonfire.
Yeah. It's very I'm just gonna divert from that. I'm sitting at the Coffee and Scream desk, and I can't believe it's been tomorrow makes a month since we uploaded the last episode of Coffee and Scream. And guys, we just have not had a chance to get together and film another one. Ryan and I have been crazy busy. Viva's been crazy busy preparing for their expo, and her kids went back to school and all of that fun stuff. And my kids went back to school, and it just got busy, and October is going to be even more busy. So the podcast is not over, you guys. We just haven't had time.
You said the bodcast.
The bodcast. I will be sitting that one out.
So, yeah, I mean, we love doing Coffee and Scream, obviously, and it's going to be something that we are going to do a lot more of. It's just, whenever it comes to traveling and making content, Paranormal Quest tends to take up so much time that we fall behind on Coffee and Scream because we're never home, and we have to be in the set at the podcast set to be able to do the podcast. So when you're never home, you can't be in the podcast set.
No. Hi, Erica. We see you. Thank you for being a member. We really appreciate it. Sometimes it's hard to see all of these going by so quickly.
Oh, Halloween special coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Dave's starting rumors about himself.
What?
Everyone thinks you have kids now.
Oh, no. No. Don't want them. Don't need them. Won't have them. Sorry, y'all.
Does anyone have any questions for us in particular? Anything that you have that is a burning question in your mind about the episode that we just watched or about anything? So,
yeah, let us know. We'll probably do this for what, like 15 more minutes, Ryan, you think?
Yes, and then I have to go and start working on editing for this week's episode because got to get another one done. Got about 3.5 days to edit this episode, so got to jump in feet first and get it started. I know that's a crazy thing to say at 9 o'clock at night that I got to go get started on editing, but
The Vegetable Man.
That's right.
Speaking of, should I show them this?
Yes.
Does Viva know about this?
Yeah, Viva was there. AC Ghost Hunters, are you here? Chris, Anna, are you in the chat? Or Chris?
Or Anna?
Or Anna. I don't
Or
know.
Chris.
I'm not sure. Whenever I see AC Ghost Hunters, I don't know which one of them is chatting. That's always the trouble, which is probably the same trouble that people have with us. But when they see Paranormal Quest, they're like, okay, who are you? Okay, they're one or both of them are here. I don't know which one.
The cats are your kids. Well, the cats aren't even mine, but
they're here.
Oh,
you want to?
What was I doing?
Oh, you were going to show them the thing. So basically, let me go to the backstory. At the Marietta Paranormal Expo on Saturday, they came up to the table and they're like, we went to Michigan Paracon and we found this, and we knew we had to get it for you. And they handed it to me, and I made them show Viva, and that's what it is. It's a candle. Veggie Man's Garden scented candle.
That's right. The Vegetable Man scented candle. Gosh. Whew. It smells like a vegetable patch.
And I apologize to anyone that came to the expo and interacted with me and AC Ghost Hunters can vouch for me. That was a 22-hour day. So when I woke up the next day after sleeping 6 hours from 6 a.m. until noon the next day, I don't remember hardly anything from that day. It's like it all feels like a dream. If anyone's ever experienced that, to where you have such a long day or such a busy day that the next day when you wake up after being severely sleep deprived, that your entire existence feels like a dream. And that's what Saturday feels like to me. So I apologize if you were like, hey, or if I ever mentioned that someone gave something to us and I'm like, I don't remember who gave it to us, and here is why, because I nearly fried my brain with staying up all night. Anyway.
Did you finally find something that made you more tired than the fire asylum?
No. I think it took me 2 weeks to recover from that.
Thank you, Brian, very much for the super chat and the great comment. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And for those of you that were wondering what Dave's comment was about, we made a documentary years ago in 2017 called The Fire Asylum in regards to firefighter training program. And the training program lasted 26 hours, I want to say. And we as the documentary crew had to stay up and film everything. Even when the actual firefighters were taking their break, we were filming testimonial interviews. So we never stopped for 26 hours straight. We started at like 5 a.m. that morning and didn't stop filming until noon the next day, nonstop.
Oh, whoops. I clicked the wrong thing.
So that was a fun time.
Yeah, it's that was probably the most draining photo shoot or video shoot or whatever you want to call it that I've ever done. And it was all for naught. I'm going to let Ryan answer the beginning of this question because, once again, I had way too much water. I will be right back.
I've only been with you a few months, ? Well, thank you for joining the channel, Patty. Thank you so much for being a part of the Paranormal Quest family, and we hope you're enjoying the content. What made you get into the paranormal? Dave says ghosts, and that is kind of true. I would say what really got us into the paranormal is the fact that we all met in prison. We were doing a 5 to 10 year stint at the West Virginia State Penitentiary. No, I'm just kidding. We all worked as tour guides and paranormal investigators at the West Virginia State Penitentiary, which we all went there for other reasons. I mean, well, Dave and Polly went there for the paranormal, but Steve, if you can tell my brain's not working, Steve, Jason, and I went there and started as historical guides. And we fell in love with the prison and the paranormal, and we all met at the prison and all had various experiences, which we have talked about in depth. But I had an experience up in the old psych ward of the West Virginia Penitentiary where I heard and captured what sounded like a gunshot on an audio recorder. I mean, it was so loud it shook the walls. That's how loud this was. And I caught it on the audio recorder. And to this day, it's still one of the most chilling pieces of evidence that I've ever collected, or data that I've ever collected. And I have that audio waveform tattooed on my arm right here, which is years old, so it's seen better days, but that's what that is. That is an audio waveform of the first paranormal evidence that I ever captured. People always say that it's a drill bit or an arrow or something, but no, it's an audio waveform of my first real paranormal evidence, or at least what I believe to be my first real paranormal evidence. So, yeah. But yeah, and well, I guess I kind of was a little bit disingenuous or inaccurate, I should say, with my portrayal of Jason's beginnings to the paranormal, because he came to the West Virginia Penitentiary for the paranormal when he did an overnight ghost hunt, which is when I met him in February of 2009. So he originally came to the penitentiary with the intention of searching for the paranormal, as to where Steve and I started out as historical guides and then got into the paranormal from there. But yes, but we all met in prison. And that's how Paranormal Quest came to be. And Jason is going to come on more investigations when he can. I'm not entirely sure about Steve. I know Steve has had a lot going on in his life over the past few years that has basically forced him to take a step back from investigating the paranormal. So thank you, Liz. Liz De Leon.
Thank you, Liz. Y'all are awesome.
Yes.
So what did you guys think? Were there was there anything that you would like us to do next Monday that might be a little different than the director's cut here?
And while you guys are answering that, this is a very good question from Cree Storm here. No, I mean, we don't find it annoying when any debunker looks at any of our content. I would say it comes with the territory, doing paranormal investigations on YouTube and trying to do honest paranormal investigations on YouTube, that naturally we were not as good at analyzing footage and audio as we are now. So we have older videos where we watch back and we're like, oh shoot, that's not paranormal. Why did we say that was paranormal? You know, but that's just the way, as you get to watch our investigations and see us evolve as investigators. So sometimes it's a bit tough whenever someone watches an older video and sees a mistake that we made and then judges us entirely in our recent work and our recent investigations on that. But I feel like our work speaks for itself. So if someone comes to our channel and says, you know, this particular debunker showed us that what you caught wasn't paranormal and debunked this evidence that you caught, but then they watch our recent investigations and see that we are more thorough with how we investigate and more thorough with how we analyze our footage, you know, we're kind of able to regain that trust and, you know, rebuild that reputation for who we are now as investigators, not who we were when we were still learning.
I agree.
As Steve used to say all the time, I'm still learning. And we're all still learning.
We are. We're all still learning.
I like this format. I like this format. This makes me feel like a part of a community. Well, you are a part of a community, KD. We appreciate you being here, and thank you so much for being a part of the live stream and for hanging out with us here this evening. It's been a lot of fun, and thank you to everyone that's hanging out here, listening to us. As I always say, flap our gums.
That's right.
Imagine if that old saying actually was representative of like what it actually looked like when you talk. What if our gums actually flapped when we talked?
Ew. Be like something Tim Burton would make.
That's right. The gum flapping monster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or yeah, flapping them lips too.
Here's one we can discuss. I want to know how you find locations and get all that scheduled out. Lots of Googling. Lots of Googling to be had. Yeah. That's really the only answer to that. Just a lot of research for like the last 14 years of digging and finding places to go, and yeah, a lot of different research. My mom helps us find a lot of different places. She's always digging for things and sending places over, and yeah.
Yeah, and it's once the location is found, then it becomes a matter of getting in contact with them. Some places are already offering paranormal investigation, so it's as simple as clicking the checkout button and booking our date through their website. And then other places it's a little more intense, and Dave has to go in and email and make phone calls and try and figure out, you know, who to contact. So that's on a case-by-case basis, so.
Yeah, it really just depends, like Ryan just explained.
Yeah, sometimes the prices can be pretty steep for some of the places to investigate. That's definitely, paranormal investigation is not a cheap hobby. Not a cheap field of research. You know, if you're wanting to go in and not spend any money and have incredible experiences, paranormal investigation is not the field to get into. If you're willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars a year on locations and sit in the dark most of the time and get no paranormal activity, then paranormal investigation is for you.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Patty. We have always said our honesty and integrity are the number one things that we put forward before anything else. And we have no reason to lie to anybody because we would be lying to ourselves. And that doesn't get you anywhere.
That's right. Would be being dishonest and disingenuous to our own motivations for investigating the paranormal. And Scotty J, we would love to come and eat at your family's restaurant if we ever come back to the Asher Walton house, or if we finally get to go to the Rhodes Hotel, which we've been talking about going to for years.
What is the name of your restaurant? Give it a shout out.
Yeah, we want to shout out the name of your family restaurant there, Scotty J.
Just have one item on your menu that doesn't have cheese, because this guy over here can't eat cheese or dairy. So
yeah, anything, and dairy is the main thing, but cheese just happens to have dairy, unless you have dairy-free cheese.
True.
Oh, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. Sorry, Diva.
Also true.
So if you guys, anyone in the chat, if you're ever in Atlanta, Indiana, go check out the Tin Plate. Go check out, have a bite to eat, have a good meal, support family-owned businesses.
The Tin Plate, fine food and spirits.
Ooh. What kind of spirits do you have? The liquid or the ethereal?
Maybe we need to come and try and find both.
Maybe both.
I think this is your restaurant.
Elwood, Indiana. Is that right? Best tenderloin ever.
Those wings look good. Y'all are... I am so hungry. Whew.
Dave's about to drive to Elwood, Indiana right now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's not an exaggeration, Aubrey. I would say we probably spend tens of thousands of dollars on locations every single year.
Oh, easy. Very easy. Some of these locations are anywhere from $200 to $3,600 per night. Per one night. One night.
For $3,500, $3,600. And, we go to some places that are, it's like $1,200 a night.
Not even a night. You're really getting shafted because it's not even a night. You're getting like 8 hours. So
if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
So, yes, it is, like I said, it is not a cheap pastime, field of research, hobby, whatever your motivation is for doing it. It is not cheap. So, unless you go to cemeteries and just hang out in places that are free, but all of the best locations and the big asylums and the big hospitals, you're going to shell out at least $1,000 for one night.
Including this place, the Conjuring House. We have been there. I think it was $1,200 for 6 hours.
Not when we did it.
Oh, how much was it? I don't remember.
It was $750, and you could stay a lot longer. That was when the previous owners had it. We were there in February of 2021, and it was $750 for the night.
Okay. See, this is why we have a brain on the team, because he remembers stuff. That's my life motto.
Do you guys enjoy going into cemeteries? I think sometimes you get the best evidence out of them. We like to do it sometimes. I mean, I like to hang out in cemeteries, but not really investigate and film, because, again, it's a place that anyone can wander into and We did a cemetery a couple years ago where we had a crazy woman following us around and screaming at us and cussing us out and wouldn't leave us alone. She followed us from one end of the wasn't even, it was like a rural area. It's called Egypt Valley.
It's a wildlife refuge.
That's right. It's a wildlife refuge. And followed us from one side of the refuge to the other, screaming at us. I remember Jason was so scared he was laying on the floorboards of the car.
He is not exaggerating.
Because this lady wouldn't leave us alone, and she was screaming at us, and Steve was screaming back at her. And
it was bad. It was bad. Dream place to investigate right now for me would be... I still would love to go and check out the Winchester Mystery House and the Black Swan Inn, and then I always thought Linda Vista Hospital would have been cool, but I think they either tore that down or turned it into something. What about you, Ryan?
And this comes out just because I was talking to someone at the Marietta Paranormal Expo about this and how hard we've tried to get in there over the years, but I have always wanted to investigate Fox Hollow Farms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we almost had it lined up one time. That's all I'll say.
So, yes, I've wanted to investigate Fox Hollow Farms for a long time. I mean, if we're talking about going over to Europe, there's so many castles.
Oh, yeah.
Out there. But I had actually heard a rumor from someone where they said that Fox Hollow Farms might be torn down in the near future.
Really?
And that they're planning on putting in condominiums, which is why they found that recent batch of human remains on the property, is because they're prepping it for demolition because they're going to put condos there.
Wow. If anybody has any pull in Indianapolis, Indiana at Fox Hollow Farms, let them know that we'd love to come and film in there before they tear it down, and we'd be willing to make a donation towards their demolition or something. But we would absolutely love to go there before they tear that down. So somebody watching this, start bugging them for us. See if you can help us get in there.
And for those of you that don't know what Fox Hollow Farms is, because you may not be familiar with the story, it was the former home of the CEO of a famous grocery store chain who just so happened to be a serial killer. His name was Herb Baumeister, and he would go out to these clubs and pick up young men and bring them back to the house, and of course, end their life in the house. And they don't know how many victims he had, but they're still to this day finding more buried on his property.
He was very much like the other guy that I can't think of his name right now.
The other guy. That's so specific.
Evan Peters played him.
Dahmer,
yeah. Love how I could remember Evan Peters, but not that. Yeah, very much like Jeffrey Dahmer, a Jeffrey Dahmer situation. So yeah, would love to go in there. Scotty J says, "I got you, bros." That would be incredible.
Thank you, Scotty. If you have any way to any contact info for them, that would be amazing. Because, it's like a 10 to 12 years in the making. I remember Jason was in contact with he might even still own it. I don't know. Or maybe he was a former owner. I'm not sure. But he was in contact with him pretty regularly. And every time we would almost get it set up, we would lose touch with him and he wouldn't respond to our calls or emails. And then 2 years down the line, we'd finally get a hold of him again and almost get it set up. And then he would turn to vapor again and disappear into the wind and not contact us again.
Yeah, it was like a giant bowl of Frosted Flakes. Poor Evan Dahmer. He was flaky.
Oh, I was like, I don't understand that analogy.
Me either. Have you heard of Corpsewood? No, but I would love to live in a neighborhood called Corpsewood. Only me? Okay.
I mean, sure, I would. I don't know what it means besides having corpse in the name, but sure.
Living at 666 6th Street in Corpsewood.
That would be cool. Sorry, delayed reaction. I was reading comments. I was trying to find where the comment was that said Corpsewood.
Corpsewood. Corpsewood Manor? Is that what we're talking about? Ooh. Ooh. I need this house.
Thank you, Ryan. I got it off of Amazon. What is it? What is the house?
Look it up. Corpsewood Manor. That's pretty cool looking. I keep seeing Dalen Spratt. Dalen Spratt posted over and over and over and over again. What about Dalen Spratt? Dave is very hungry.
Yeah, what about Dalen? Why are we? I must have missed the. It looks like it's just ruins now, isn't it?
Yeah, Crystal, can we go there? Is it just ruins? I still have the 10 plate pulled up here with chicken wings, so. Every town has an Elm Street. That's right.
Wow, that's an interesting article from Abandoned Georgia. It's a newspaper article, apparently about Corpsewood Manor, but it says death was the final visitor to home of devil worshippers.
Wow.
In
Love to go.
Somerville, Georgia. Interesting.
Dalen does ghost boxes from a cemetery. That's cool.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those.
Interesting.
Let me see here if I can find this. I'm going to pull it up for everyone to see because this would be a really cool. They're getting a behind the scenes look at research on locations, which is probably why we're dropping people like flies. They're like, what are they doing? This is boring.
There's gargoyles. Crystal said there's still gargoyles. Oh, wow. Look at that dog.
Yeah, this is it seems to be the same place because you can see the brick in the background.
I would love to check that out.
Wait, Charles Scudder shows off his mastiff outside Corpsewood where he was murdered. A guard dog also found shot to death. That is crazy. Why have we never heard of this place?
I don't know. Now, by ruins, Crystal, do you mean ruins like anybody can go to these ruins, or like ruins that are fenced off and watched by a guy who's very handsomely paid to not let people in there?
I mean, how could you not like the Ghost Brothers? I mean, like I saw someone say the side-eye guy liked the Ghost Brothers. How could you not like them? They're such likable gentlemen.
Have a good night, Erica.
Good night, Erica. They do use a lot of the necrophonic, but, you know, even if you don't agree with their investigation style, you can't help but love those guys. They're so fun to watch and so energetic.
This has popped up probably a dozen times or so. We don't know. We don't really hear from Steve that often, guys. Just putting it out there. You almost made me spit out my drink. What did I do? You have a good night as well, Erica. Thank you for jumping in here and enjoying this, whatever this is.
This wonderful live stream that we did. This wonderful and professional, oh so professional live stream.
Hey, Jason, we did answer that a few minutes back, so it's a very long and drawn out response. Check out his graveyard shift. Why do people offer food and drinks to passed away people? I don't know. I mean, if I was dead and you offered me like a slice of pizza, I'm definitely going to light up your millimeter. That sounded very suggestive. I didn't. But yeah, whatever.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, you would light up a millimeter now for a slice of pizza.
That's true.
You're about ready to chew your arm off.
If you can't tell, I love pizza. It's my favorite food.
I love pizza too, but I can't eat it.
I'd still eat it. Yeah, Shelly, no problem. Not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? You want to finish this off so I can get to editing and you can get to eating?
Story of my life. Yeah, I'd love to go get something. It won't be pizza, sadly, but yeah. Let's go ahead and jump off of here.
Yes, we are.
Yes, Deborah, we are leaving here in about a week to go film the Halloween special.
Lesser known haunted locations are usually our favorite. The mainstream ones are a lot more expensive, and we always capture less activity at ones that are more commercialized and profit driven.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for the questions, and thank you for watching with us. And yeah, we and or I will do this again. It just depends on how busy editing Ryan is. We'll probably do this. I was going to say next Monday, but we won't have time next Monday. So
next Monday, we're going to be doing the thing that we just answered Deborah about.
I know. So yeah, from other Mondays from here on out, if you guys would like us to do these, let us know. Once this ends, leave a comment that says, do this again, and we'll do this again. So,
or if you don't want us to do this again, leave us a comment that says, do not do this again. If I see you on live, I'm going to, I don't want to say anything that'll get me kicked off of YouTube. I was going to make a joke, but I feel like if I say something like that, it would trigger some sort of automated response from YouTube and say that I was saying something threatening or bullying.
Just know that Monday's Boo Production does a live at what's Boo Production? I've never heard of that, but we'll take that into consideration. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and we are going to hit the road, and we'll see you again here very soon.